Okay, guys, this is kind of a preface. I was at the Save the Children rally here in Yucaipa earlier. And I'm putting the video together, and I thought, I need to do a disclaimer. The faces of the people that you will see in this video were arrested for sexual offenses in the city of Yucaipa, or they resided in the city of Yucaipa. But they were alleged to have committed sexual offenses. We're not saying that any of the people you see are guilty or innocent. We're only saying that the people you're going to see in this video were arrested for suspicion of or alleged sexual offenses against children. Now, the reason I'm putting their faces up for that is because they were arrested for that. Therefore, there was more than likely some probable cause that led authorities to make the arrest. Now, while we hope that the authorities made a mistake, in many cases, the authorities didn't make a mistake. In many cases, these people that are doing this, not just the people you'll see in this video, but people that are doing this every day to our children on the streets of Southern California and across the nation, are abusing our children, and they're abusing them sexually. And it's time for legislation to step up and increase the punishments and the sentences. Let me know what you guys think after watching this. All right, guys, we're out here at Oak Glen and Yucaipa Boulevard for the Save the Children rally. It is time to bring awareness to what's going on here in San Bernardino County, especially in Yucaipa and San Bernardino. San Bernardino, they're continuously arresting people for sex trafficking of minor children, particularly young girls under 18. And it's time to put a stop to it. It's time for harsher sentences like life. Washington State, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they had started something where if you were convicted of a sex crime, they said, well, the recidivism on that is high. So if you did it once, you'll do it again and again. So we're just going to give you 3 strikes and give you life. It wasn't in a prison in particular. It was in a psychiatric hospital for sex offenders. That's the loophole how Washington State did it. The Supreme Court fought them on it, and it was on a show. This was several years ago. It was on a show called, I think it was on 48 Hours, something like that, and or 2020, and they talked about it. That's what we need here in California. That's what we need in San Bernardino County. We need people to put them away for life. Never let them out again. But what they're doing now, too, is because of the coronavirus, they're letting nonviolent criminals like sex offenders out of prison or out of jail. So now they're back out on the street doing what they do. I was saying that we've had a fire official from Cal Fire that got arrested for it. We had somebody on 14th Street here in Yucaipa near Kentucky Street that was arrested for child pornography. We don't want them in this city, so we're bringing awareness to this. And I brought up an idea that we should look into the legality of finding out what their address is and then putting their address up on a tree or something public and putting a monster lives here. And again, CPS and foster care are involved. A lot of foster cares, as I said, aren't interested in raising children. They're interested in getting money for raising the children. So what they do is they'll foster 5 or 8 kids. They get a whole bunch of money from the state, and they're not really interested in the kids. They just like the money. So it's kind of like people are saying, well, we should take the kids out of the home, put them in foster care or CPS. That's not always a solution. Sometimes that's taking them out of the frying pan and dropping them in the fire. I had recommended castration, but I don't think that'll work because the United States government will say, well, that's mutilation. It's not mutilation in the Middle East. If you steal, they chop your hand off. So you see a guy going around with no arms, you know that dude's a repeat shoplifter. But here we just put them in prison for a while and let them back out on the street and tell them, well, they're going to register. We have registered sex offenders getting arrested for sex offending. So it's all about hashtag save the children. That's why we're out here today. The only way to stop it is a life sentence. You know, we would say capital punishment, but I don't think the U.S. would ever allow capital punishment for that offense. Because capital punishment is reserved for things like murder, homicide, or I don't know if rape is a capital punishment. I think that's life imprisonment. But we need to include pedophilia in a capital punishment. We need to just put them down. So right here again, I was saying that San Bernardino, they're continuously arresting people for trafficking. In fact, they just arrested somebody for suspicion of trafficking a 14-year-old girl. A county official just a few years ago was arrested for being a part of that. An official. And again, that's not to speak ill of the agency or the department or that government agency, but these people are infiltrating these agencies and these occupations because it's easy to get in where there's kids. Stop giving them 5 to 10 years and they're out in 7 and saying, well, they're going to register. What does that do? So now we know where they're committing crimes at, because they're still doing it. Bring the hammer down and put these people away for life. Washington State can do it. California can do it. But how many editorials do I do on people that are arrested because they abuse the child?
Thank you for being here.
Oh,
Not everybody agrees with everything that you say, but it's awesome that you're here, and you're probably one of the primary journalists.
all for the children.
We thank you for
Yeah.
your support and getting the word
No,
out.
thank you guys for being out here. It's for the children. We've got to change legislation.
Hey, we got a lot of different political things going on right now, but how about a chant for Kids Lives Matter? Okay? Kids Lives Matter! Kids Lives Matter!
Kids' lives matter. Kids' lives matter.
Kids Lives Matter! It's the truth, man.
Yep.
Hey, you right there in the Mustang, come over and donate a little money, man. Hey, just come over here, just take an extra 2 seconds out of your day, man. You got it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Woo!
Pause right here.
There you go. That's what it's about.
Come over here and take this guy's leadership.
This is for the children.
Thank you, sir.
For the children. It's for the children.